ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 5 चैप्टर 12 वर्स 8। यदा क्षिताव एव चराचरस्य विदाम निष्ठां प्रभवं च नित्यं तन्नामतोऽन्यद् व्यवहारमूलं निरूप्यताम् तत्क्रिययानुमेयम्. All of us on the surface of the globe are living entities in different forms. Some of us are moving and some not moving. All of us come into existence, remain for some time, and are annihilated when the body is again mingled with the earth. We are all simply different transformations of the earth. Different bodies and capacities are simply transformations of the earth that exist in name only. For everything grows out of the earth, and when everything is annihilated, it again mingles with the earth. In other words, we are but dust and we shall but be dust. Everyone can consider this point. Brahma Sutra, it is said, Tad ananyatvam arambhana shabdadibhyaha. This cosmic manifestation is a mixture of matter and spirit, but the cause is Supreme Brahman, Supreme Person of Godhead. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Idam hi Vishwam Bhagavan ipetaraha. Entire cosmic manifestation is but a transformation of the energy of the Supreme Person of Godhead. But because of illusion, no one can appreciate that God is non-different from the material world. Actually, he is not different, but this material world is simply a transformation of his different energies. Parasya Shaktir Vivida Eva Shuyate. There are also other versions of this in the Vedas. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Matter and spirit are all non-different from the Supreme Brahman Bhagavan. So this consciousness is very important. That everything is actually Supreme Brahman Bhagavan, so everything must be used in his service. Lord Krishna confirms this statement in Bhagavad Gita, Me Binna Me Prakriti Rashtada. The material energy is Krishna's energy, but it is separated from him. The spiritual energy is also his energy, but it is not separated from him. When the material energy is engaged in the service of the Supreme Spirit, so-called material energy is also transformed into spiritual energy, just as an iron rod becomes fire when placed in contact with fire. So when material energy is used in our service, then it is remains material energy. But when it is engaged in the service of the Supreme Spirit, it is transformed into spiritual energy. When we can understand by an analytical study that the Supreme Person of Godhead is the cause of all causes, our knowledge is perfect. Simply understanding the transformations of different energies is partial knowledge. We must come to the ultimate cause. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. The knowledge of those who are not interested in knowing the original cause of all emanations is never perfect knowledge. There is nothing in the phenomenal world, meaning this material world, that is not produced by the supreme energy of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Aromas from the earth are different scents manufactured and used for different purposes, but the original cause is the earth, nothing else. A water pot made of earth can be used to carry water for some time, but ultimately the pot is nothing but earth. Therefore, there is no difference between the pot and its original ingredient, earth. It is simply a different transformation of the energy. Originally, the cause or primary ingredient is the Supreme Person of Godhead, and the varieties are only byproducts. In the Chandogya Upanishad, it is stated, if one studies the earth, he naturally understands the byproducts of the earth. The Vedas therefore enjoin Yasmin Vignate Sarvam Evam Vignatam Bhavati. Mundak Upanishad. If one simply understands the original cause Krishna, the cause of all causes, then naturally everything else is understood, although it may be present in different varieties. By understanding the original cause of different varieties, one can understand everything. If you understand Krishna, we do not need to separately study the subsidiary varieties. Therefore, from the very beginning, it is said Satyam Param Dhimahi. One has to concentrate one's understanding on the supreme truth, Krishna Vasudeva. The word Vasudeva indicates the supreme person of Godhead who is the cause of all causes. Majstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitha. This is a summary of phenomenal and nominal philosophy. The phenomenal world depends on the nominal existence, meaning phenomenal is material, nominal is spiritual. Similarly, everything exists by virtue of the potency of the Supreme Lord, although due to our ignorance, Supreme Lord is not perceived in everything. So this is our problem. Due to our ignorance, we don't perceive the Supreme Lord in everything, and so we think that it's different from the Lord, and hence can be used for my enjoyment. This also helps one to remain Krishna conscious. This philosophy that everything is Krishna, nothing is non-different from Krishna. Nothing is different from Krishna. Everything is non-different. So whenever we see anything in this material world, we have to simply remember saying that it is Krishna only. Our bodies of transformations of earth, different objects in the material world are simply transformations of earth. Everything is simply a transformation of earth, and that earth is simply energy of Krishna, and so non-different from Krishna. So this is a lower. The Bhagavatam's second canto starts off with discussing saying about this universal form, and there Prabhupada says that it's for those people who cannot actually um, come to the platform of accepting Krishna as a supreme Lord person. But even for devotees, um, while when we are directly engaged in activities of devotional service, we might remember Krishna. But when we are doing our material things, we somehow forget. So those material things, the energy required for doing those material things, everything is actually Krishna. By having this consciousness, we can make sure that we never forget Krishna. That is why Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita also his various opulences. We are drinking water, we can remember Krishna. We are taking medicine, we can remember Krishna. We are eating food, we can remember Krishna. We are breathing, we can remember Krishna. So anything and everything we are doing, we can actually remember Krishna. So please remember, everything is nothing but Krishna, because everything is just a transformation of the energy of Krishna. That's all. एवं निरुक्तं क्षितिशब्दवृत्तम् असन्निधानात् परमाणवो ये अविद्यया मनसा कल्पितास्ते येषां समूहेन कृतो विशेषः. One may say that varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be the truth, it ultimately has no real existence, meaning non-permanent. The Earth was originally created by a combination of atomic particles, but these particles are impermanent. Actually, the atom is not the cause of the universe, although some philosophers think so. It is not a fact that the varieties found in this material world simply result from atomic juxtaposition or combination. So, atom is not the cause of the universe. It's Krishna who is the cause of the universe. It's Krishna's energy which is the cause of the universe. Hmm. And it is all temporary, and multiple times material world is likened to a cinema or a dream or to a child on the shores of ocean making some kind of form from the sand. And in some time that form is destroyed. There'll be either waves or he'll himself get bored and kick the that he maybe created a fort or something. So it's all just temporary. That structure that remained between from the time it was created to the time it was destroyed was just temporary. Mm. But still, we are all so much behind the temporary manifestation of Krishna's material energy. Um, mm. So yesterday we had one class for relatively new devotees, and we were asking them, saying that what is one thing that is important for you in life? And inevitably, most of them said family, right? And the important thing is that we don't realize that even the family, including family, everything is temporary and just can either become favorable for us on our eternal journey or become unfavorable. That's all it is, nothing else, right? Those who follow the atomic theory think that protons and electrons of atoms combine in such a way as to bring all material existence into being. However, the scientists fail to discover the cause of atomic existence itself. Under these circumstances, we cannot accept that the atom is the cause of the universe. Thus, theories are advanced by unintelligent people. According to real intelligence, the real cause of cosmic manifestation is Supreme Lord. Janmadhyasya yataha aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Krishna is the original cause, sarva karana karanam, sarvam kalvidam brahma. He is the cause of all causes. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti emme bhinna prakriti rastada. The ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord, and only those in ignorance try to find out other causes. We don't necessarily try to find other causes, but we just forget. We just forget that the Supreme Lord is the cause, that everything is Him. Evam krisham sthulam anur bruhadyad asaccha sajjeevam ajeevamanyat dravya svabhavashaya kalakarma namna jaya behi kritam dvitiyam. Since this universe has no real ultimate existence, the things within it, darkness, differences, grossness, skinniness, smallness, bigness, result, cause, living symptoms, materials, all are imagined. They're all parts made of the same substance, earth, but they're named differently. The differences are characterized by the substance, nature, predisposition, time, and activity. Meaning, the various differences are characterized by, okay, that this is made of a different substance, or its nature is different, its activity is different, etc. But primarily, it's all just made of earth. We should know that all these are simply mechanical manifestations created by material nature. And see, Jada is emphasizing so much about uh, the fact that everything is just matter and spirit is different. Just to drive the point that everything is matter and that everything is just transformation of matter and that we don't really have any ownership on any of this matter because it's all belongs to the Supreme Lord. Mm. Is so many, like it almost looks like same similar knowledge he's giving. The temporary manifestations and varieties within this material world are simply creations of material nature. The actions and reactions carried out by material nature are sometimes accepted as our scientific inventions. Therefore, we want to take credit for them and defy the existence of God. Ankara vimudatma kartam inti manyate. So Prabhupada is talking about another thing. Mm, does not access, accepting some of these material phenomena is also our invention. Due to being covered by illusory eternal energy, the living entity tries to take credit for the differentiated creations within the material world. Actually, all these are being created automatically by the material force set in motion by the energy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the ultimate cause is the Supreme Person. Mm. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. In this regard, Madhvacharya also. Actually, the original cause is Lord Vishnu, but out of ignorance, people think that the matter is the cause. Things are contemplated on the ephemeral or external platform, but actually, this is not the truth. The actual protector and shelter of everyone is Brahman, the Supreme, not the King. The actual protectress is material nature, but Vishnu is our Lord. He is the Lord of everything. Lord Janardana is the director, but both externally and internally. He is the cause of the function of words and what is expressed in all sounds. So everything, literally, everything, he is the director. Lord Vishnu is the resting place of the entire creation. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. On Brahman, everything is resting. All the universes are resting on the Brahmajyoti. All the planets are resting on the universal atmosphere. Each and every planet, there are oceans, hills, states, and kingdoms, and each planet is giving shelter to so many living entities. They're all standing on the earth. of feet and legs, torso and shoulders, but actually everything is resting ultimately on the potencies of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is known ultimately as Sarvakarana Karanam. Gnanam Vishuddham Paramarthamekam Anantaram Tvabhir Brahma Satyam Pratyak Prashantam Bhagavat Shabda Sangnam Yad Vasudevam Kavayo Vadanti. What then is the ultimate truth? The answer is that non-dual knowledge is the ultimate truth. Non-dual, where there are no dualities. Absolute. Absolute means which doesn't depend on some other truth. It is the truth. It is ultimate truth. It is devoid of the contamination of material qualities. It gives us liberation. It is one without a second. There's nothing else like it. It's all pervading and beyond imagination. The first realization of that ultimate knowledge, ultimate truth is Brahman. Not that the only realization is Brahman. The first realization is Brahman. Then Paramatma is realized by the yogis who try to see him without grievance. This is the second stage. Finally, full realization of Supreme Lord is realized in the Supreme Person. All learned scholars describe the Supreme Person as Vasudeva, the cause of Brahman, Paramatma, and others. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Yat Advaitam Brahmopanishadi Tadapyasya Tanubha. The impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Absolute Truth consists of the bodily rays of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Yatmantaryami Purusha iti so Shamsa Vibhav. What is known as Atma and Antaryami, the Super Soul, is but an expansion of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Sad Aishwaryahi Purno Ya Iha Bhagavan Sa Swayam Ayam. What is described as the Supreme Person of Godhead, complete with all six opulences, is Vasudeva. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from him. Great learned scholars and philosophers accept this after many, many births. Bhunam Janmanam Ante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. The wise man can understand that ultimately Vasudeva Krishna is the cause of Brahman Paramatma. Thus Vasudeva is Sarvakarana Karanam. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. The real Tattva, absolute truth, is Bhagavan. But due to complete realization of the incomplete realization of the absolute truth, people sometimes describe the same Vishnu as impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma. From the very beginning, Srimad Bhagavatam says Satyam Param Dhimahi. We meditate on the Supreme Truth. The Supreme Truth is explained here as Gnanam Vishuddham Satyam. Vishuddham, it's pure, perfectly pure. The absolute truth is devoid of material contamination and is transcendental to material qualities. That is called Vishuddham. It gives all spiritual success and liberation from this material world. That supreme absolute truth is Krishna, Vasudeva. There is no difference between Krishna's inner self and outer body. Krishna is Purna, the whole, complete whole. There is no distinction between his body and soul as there is between ours. Sometimes so-called scholars, not knowing the constitutional position of Krishna, mislead people by saying that Krishna within is different from Krishna without. When Krishna says Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, so-called scholars, Radha Krishna, advise the reader that it is not the person Krishna to whom we must surrender, but the Krishna within. So-called scholars, Mayavadis, cannot understand Krishna with their poor fund of knowledge. One should therefore approach an authorized person to understand Krishna. The Supreme Master has actually seen Krishna, therefore he can explain him properly. Without approaching an authorized person, one cannot understand Krishna. Okay, pretty straightforward. If anybody has any questions, you can. Rahugana itat tapasa na yati na chejjaya niravapanad grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahat pada rajobhishekam. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to pada raja abhishekam, smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One can get some knowledge, but one cannot realize. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, strictly following rules and regulations of Grihastha Dharma, leaving home as Vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. So, brahmacharya, so varnashrama, which is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, or tapasya, is not enough to realize the supreme truth. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So we have to work in such a way that we can attain the mercy of a great devotee. Hmm. What is the mercy of a great devotee? Many times people think that allowing us to do whatever we want is the mercy of a great devotee. No, mercy of a great devotee is his instruction, right? So by following his instructions, supreme truth will be revealed to us. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham ta atma bhakto. Whatever is difficult in the Veda is adurlabha, is not difficult by when it is given by Atma Bhakta, pure devotee of Krishna. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following the directions of Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee. Who is a pure devotee? Anyavilashita shunyam gnana karmadhi anavritam. By the grace of such a devotee, one can understand the absolute truth and one's relationship with him. Again, grace means yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. So we have to please him by following his instructions. A materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. That is denied in this verse. We cannot remain at home, meaning we have to approach a pure devotee. Nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing brahmacharya. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. Sometimes some devotees who are sentimental, they think that, oh, my guru smiled at me, so he's given his mercy to me. And that is not mercy. Mm. Guru might smile at us, and knowing that we've done something worthless, because he'll be concerned, saying that if he says something against what we have done, we might go crazy and just leave him or ignore his words and commit guru ravagya. So in one sense, helplessness, he might just smile at us, saying that, but he might be thinking, oh, poor thing. Mm. Mm. So it's not that simply some Vaishnava is smiling at us, that is mercy. Real mercy, if you want real mercy, we have to follow the instructions. We have to hear and follow instructions. The whole process of devotional service is to know what the path is and follow it, and that we will know only by hearing from pure devotees. And there are no pure devotees who will say that you can eat whatever you want, right? Mm, so many initiated devotees actually they eat outside. They eat non-prasadam. It's such a what can we say? Just a mm, this big disrespect to the guru, right? Because guru mercifully has accepted the disciple to help him make progress, and we are just in the name of mercy just doing whatever we want. It's insult actually. That's the word I was looking for. It's an insult to the guru, right? When we don't follow his instructions. So, if you don't want to follow anybody's instructions, we should not get initiated. We should not get initiated and then put the guru in trouble. So I'm very heavy about this because it pains me when devotees who are initiated don't follow rules, right? Okay, helplessly we might be dragged to do something once in a while. That's okay, that's understandable, but not willingly. Hmm. Like some devotee very recently, I heard that they had gone for some yatra with family, etc., to Ayodhya, etc., etc., and then um, they'd gone and they're not made any preparation for prasadam. Right, initiated devotee. I said, like, why would you even plan a yatra without planning for prasadam? Oh, no, no, it was very difficult to get prasadam. Then you should have planned it. Otherwise, you should cancel your trip, right? And that information, of course, it didn't. These things don't come to me directly. Some other devotee told me, and I was feeling like initiated devotee and just taking these things so lightly. Okay, if somebody said, okay, I went, I couldn't get any prasadam, I just lived on fruits. I took free fruits offered it to Krishna, and I just honored fruits. Great, right? That is the kind of austerity that is required. Not that just conveniently, you know, we just take whatever somehow something, and just say that okay, it was very difficult. So that's not mercy. And if you go and tell this to Guru, do you think any Guru on the face of this earth will be happy? Nobody will be happy. Mm. But they might just smile at you because of your fallen condition. That's all. So if we really want the mercy of Krishna, then we have to follow the instructions of Guru. There is no other way. There's simply no other way. We have to understand this. The simple truth cannot be understood and accepted by devotees. Very unfortunate. Mm. So the only way is to serve the pure devotee, and serving the pure devotee means serving his instructions. For serving the instructions of a pure devotee, one has to hear from the pure devotee or a perfect representative of the pure devotee. If somebody is representing the Guru perfectly, we can hear from that person. Because sometimes, language challenges are there for devotees, especially local language people might not be able to understand because lectures might be in Hindi, might be in English. Then okay, somebody who can ideally represent the Guru can pass on the same instructions as a postman. But the important thing is to serve the instructions. We have to serve the instructions. Only then we can achieve perfection. Otherwise, we can't realize because realize means revealed. Hmm. And it is revealed to one who has attained the mercy of the great devotee. Yatrottama shloka gunanuvada prastuyate gramya katha vighatah nishevyamano anudhinam mumukshor matim satim yachati vasudeve. Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly for of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. Oh, we discuss now wherever, whoever we are, we discuss India and Pakistan conflict. This is not a pure devotee. Pure devotee might discuss this in a class to enlighten, give some enlightenment about how much about this material world and reality of this material world, but not in the interest of discussing that topic. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is a discussion only of the qualities, forms, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Of course, when we hear a sentence like this, the instructions of the Supreme Lord are also pastimes of the Supreme Lord to actually bring us back to our original position, original constitutional position. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. Mm. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of the absolute truth abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. Mm. So one has to hear from pure devotees in an assembly of pure devotees, not from one pure devotee. Mm. Here it said we have to have an assembly of pure devotees. And who is a pure devotee? Anya Vilashita Shunyam, who has no other desire but to please Krishna. Such in the assembly of such pure devotees, what is discussed? Not material problems, not material subject matters. It's just about Krishna, Krishna's instructions, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's forms, Krishna's pastimes. And when we hear such topics respectfully, we will be elevated to the stage of attached to the service of Vasudeva. Attachment, asakti, ruchi, higher platforms of devotion. Symptoms of pure devotees are described in this verse. They are never interested in material topics. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu strictly prohibited Gramya Varta na kahibe. And one should not indulge in talking unnecessarily about news of the material world. One should not waste time in this way. This is a very important feature in the life of a devotee. A devotee has no other ambition than to serve Krishna. This Krishna conscious movement was started to engage people. How many hours? 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. The students in this institution engage in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. They actually have no opportunity to waste their time unnecessarily by discussing politics, sociology, and current events. See, this is how our life should be. mm, what is the word? Molded. That there's no opportunity to waste time. Meaning each and every second, each and every minute should be designed, should be molded in such a way that we engage in cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. Serious, seriously serving Krishna means what? What is seriously serving Krishna? How can we seriously serve Krishna? Can somebody give some examples of what it means to seriously serve Krishna? You can interpret it different ways, but yeah. What does it mean?
You should not take a Krishna conscious very easily.
Okay, don't take things lightly. Okay,
Right.
okay, then what else?
Like Ambarish Maharaj engaging every limb in the service of the Lord.
Okay, that is also one aspect of seriousness, which is serious about how we use our time. Then,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
yeah,
Hearing the instructions from spiritual master submissively and attentively.
and that's okay. See, these things are very basics, foundations are all clear. All that is there. Okay, what else is seriously serving Krishna?
Everything which is not favorable to Casey and which is not Casey, we should give it up.
Okay, go deeper. Some more, little more
Not
deeper.
indulge in sense gratification, like
No,
one
yeah, I
hand we
mean
are
that.
doing.
Yeah, that is all. I mean, okay, let's talk on the platform of pure devotees. Okay,
Hare Krishna
Bec-
Prabhu.
one second, one second. So because if we keep thinking about our conditioned state, we will come up with all these things, right? Anyambilashita, Shulyam, don't engage in sense gratification. Forget about all that. That is all given. That we have been talking every day, right? Now I'm talking about seriously serving Krishna. Yeah, we're not
Hare
casual
Krishna,
about
Prabhuji.
devotion. Yeah, one second. So, all these which are which are not in the realm of pure devotion. Let's not discuss that. Now we are talking about pure devotees, right? In this context of discussing about pure devotees, what is serious service to Krishna mean? Yeah, Rupa Mataji, then
Prabhu,
Shrishti Mataji. Yeah.
without any expectation, we surrender to Krishna and do
No,
our.
that is all. That is pure devotion. See, what I'm trying to say is pure devotion means anyabhilashita shunyam gnana karma dhyanavritam anukulena krishna anusilanam bhaktiruttama. So this is a discussion about pure devotees. So who are pure devotees who have no other desires but to please Krishna? Gnana karma dhyanavritam. They are not behind sense gratification. They are not behind impersonal gnana. Anukulena. They are serving Krishna favorably as given by previous acharyas. Okay, this is pure devotee. Now, what does it mean for a pure devotee to serve Krishna seriously? Is the question clear? Yeah. Anybody wants to answer?
He has no other business than
No, that
serving
I've already
Krishna.
told. That I've already told. Now, I've already told the
Hare
definition of pure
Krishna.
devotion. One second,
Hare
please.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Again,
Spread.
one second, Mataji. Just one second. Again, I'm telling. I've defined who is a pure devotee, right? Anya Bilashita Shunyam Gnana Karma Dhanavritam. I just defined this. That means no sense gratification, no other desire but to serve Krishna, favorably engaged, following process as per acharyas. This is a pure devotee. Now let's try to put ourselves in the shoes of a pure devotee and think about what is this serious service to Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, one second. Shilpa Mataji, you want to answer?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, spreading the word of Krishna and giving bhakti to as many people
Okay.
that one can reach.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. One aspect. Yes. Okay. What else?
So Prabhu, I mean, if you put it from a pure devotee perspective, right? When we say seriously, it's basically taking the instruction of his guru, right?
Mhm.
I mean, even that pure devotee has a guru. I mean, even if you look at the Guru Parampara, even when you look at Srila Prabhupada's life, he's taken his guru's instruction as his life and soul, right?
Okay.
And following it to the core is what is
Okay.
seriousness, I think.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Prabhuji, engaging others in devotional service.
Yeah. Preaching, engaging others in devotional service. Yeah. Seriously. No point I'm trying to uh, draw attention is serious. What is the serious business?
He probably I think he wants to give bhakti to everyone so that he can take as many souls as possible and to Krishna.
Yeah. So yeah, already the devotees also stated yes. So preaching, taking bhakti to other devotees, following the instructions of Guru. What is this seriousness?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
The
Yeah.
pure
Ashwini Mataji.
devotees, whatever they do, whether devotional service or whatever, they will be doing in remembering Krishna, to please Krishna.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Vamshi Prabhu, you want to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, giving up our independence to think and then stick to.
Yeah, I mean, that is all that is given, Baba. A pure devotee, we don't have to go and tell him saying that you have to give up your independence to Krishna. And to, you have to give up your independence to your Guru. See, don't go. We are talking about pure devotees. We are not talking about our devotion. We are not talking about our devotion. We are talking about a pure devotee.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu, taking intense devotional service, taking
Okay.
something which is beyond our day-to-day capacity,
Okay.
that is serious
Okay.
because that is a heavy uh, thing which is different than the usual level of bhakti which we do.
Okay. Okay. In one way, taking, yeah, like somebody said, taking the instructions of their Guru as their life and soul. That is one aspect of seriousness. Okay, Rohini Mataji, one last and then maybe I'll just share my thoughts.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Engaging every sense in serving Krishna. Like Rishikesh is
Yeah,
serving the
which is all part of the basic. See, there are two things here. One is doing devotional service. A pure devotee just does devotional service means he engages all his senses in the this one. He has no other desire for sense gratification, etc. This is all what he does. Hmm. Seriously actually means that he is two things of seriousness. Seriousness means attention to detail is one aspect of seriousness. Meaning, see, suppose when somebody has made some garlands, okay, and okay, whatever, some garlands have been offered to the Lord. Now, a devotee, a pure devotee who is very serious about devotion, he look at that offering, and his eyes will go actually to the freshness of the flowers, the smell of the flowers.
Right.
Whether whatever we offered, was it actually satisfactory to Krishna? So pure devotee is not just happy with just some service being done. He is very, very concerned about the quality of the service being done. Right? A pure devotee will be concerned, see, who is serious, will be concerned about some, devotee making wrong philosophical statements. Hmm. So serious means not taking these things lightly in the name of compassion. Right? And pure devotee also doesn't mean that he will just simply, forgive everybody, irrespective what all mistakes they are doing. No, pure devotee is very, very interested in training others also to bring them to that platform. Right? So very particular about how devotional service needs to be done. because that's what he's learned from his guru. And he's teaching it to his disciples. Right? And there is no aspect of devotion which can just be ignored. Isn't it? Every aspect of devotion has to be looked at, with full attention, proper attention. For example, everything is nice, but there are a lot of cobwebs. Flowers which have been offered have not been taken out for 3 days. Right? Some festival happens, then everybody is very busy, offering, very nice decoration to the Lord, etc. Then what happens next day? Just the flowers only offered to the Lord are removed. And what happens to the flowers at the entrance? They remain like that for 1 week. Because the devotee is concerned about how bhakti is being done. So he's very serious about it. Serious means like you can think of seriousness like, once if somebody is in a hospital. It's serious. It's serious business. Right? So we have to make sure that we give that required attention to every aspect of devotion. And that will come only when we have no other desire but to please Krishna. And then we think, oh, and we also are on the platform that Krishna is a person. Oh, I offered flowers. And will Krishna be happy with like flowers 2 days old? Will Krishna be happy with flowers which are all not fresh? And then devotees will give reason saying that no, because I couldn't go, I can't go on this day, so I went 1 day earlier to get flowers. That is your convenience. That's not pure devotion. Right? So going into each and every aspect of devotion and making sure that we are looking at everything and trying to bring it to some very high standard, that will please Krishna. That requires seriousness. And if you say, no, it's okay, if I tell something, then devotees will feel bad. Is that good? Absolutely not good. But of course, there's a way to communicate, etc., right? But training is one of the very, very important things that a pure devotee does. He trains by his own behavior, and he trains by observing, correcting. This is all part of serious devotion. It's serious. Right? Sometimes the devotees might feel like, not, why is that everything is wrong? Sometimes devotees feel like this, saying that why is that everything has to be wrong? What is the answer? Sometimes, some devotees might be just saying, okay, this is not okay, that's not okay, this has to be done like this, that has to be done like that. Some devotees think, no, what is this? Why is that this devotee has to see only mistakes only? What is the answer?
He's trying to correct us too.
Yeah, he's trying to correct. He's trying to, more than correct anybody, he's trying to bring the service to the required standard. Right? And as part of that process, whatever which is not up to the mark has to be changed, has to be fixed. And we have to be very fortunate, initially, my initial days of Krishna consciousness, I used to feel, especially when I came in touch with my Guru Maharaj, I used to feel very discouraged. But now I understand actually, whatever I went through, whatever I learned, whatever, was just is what is actually holding me on to the standard of devotional service that I'm able to do today. Right? And many a times it looked very discouraging. Right? But because of that attention to detail, because of that seriousness about how everything has to be done, that has helped my own devotion so much. Right? So it's important that we remain serious. Serious doesn't mean that we have to keep a gruff face, we have to be like, not smile, not like that. Not like that. That is just external seriousness. This is internal seriousness is required. Yeah, Vamshi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can I share one realization on
Okay,
this?
1 second. Is everybody clear about this subject matter? If you have any questions about it, we can ask. Then we will go to Vamshi Prabhu. Who wants to share some realization? Yeah, Shashank Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, then I understood when we are going, like when we are progressing to become a pure devotee, I mean, in that path, quality of each and every service which is offered to Krishna, whatever the service it could be, it's
Yeah.
need to be re-verified, rechecked at every step.
Yes. Yes.
So whatever the service it should be,
Yeah. And
I mean, it can be.
yeah, and it never ends. There's no end to it. There's no end to it. It's not like suddenly one day we will become so perfect that we will stop worrying about how our service was. No. It's just a process of continuous improvement. It keeps going, going, going. First, it will be just rules, then it will be love, then, it'll go into different realms. And there's no end to it at all. There's no end to bhakti, the depth of bhakti. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay. Yeah. Vamshi Prabhu. I think Rupa Mataji, you had your hand up. Was it a question or?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, I understood.
Yeah. Understood. Okay. Okay. Vamshi
One
Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
beginner, as a beginner. So how to improve our quality of service?
How to improve quality of service? So most important thing is which is why we always say that we have to be in the association of devotees who are more advanced than us. Wherever you are, you will be able to find devotees who are more advanced than you. And then you will learn in their association. And that is why, like Prabhupada here somewhere said, right, you cannot become pure devote. You cannot make progress in devotion by sitting at home, he's saying. Right? Somewhere, right? Last purport, I think. Somewhere Prabhupada was saying that, right? So which means that we have to do devotion in the association of devotees who are more advanced than us, who are looking at all these details, who are serious about devotional service. Then automatically we'll learn. And that's what I was saying. When we are in the association of devotees, maybe we'll keep getting hammered, saying this is not okay, that's not okay. We should not get discouraged. We should understand saying that this is the training process. One of our devotees, he worked in military. So he was telling, saying that, if one grain of food in military, if one grain is wasted, whoever the a person in chief, whoever will note that, and next day, 20 rounds, the whole, whatever ground, he has to run 20 rounds as punishment. This is serious business, right? Of course, in devotion, we don't necessarily punish people, but it's the attention to the detail. One drop of food wasted, that's not even prasadam, right? Just food wasted, and he gets that punishment, right? So we have to understand what is actually what is devotion, how is it done. Hmm? In our center, we keep jumping up and down when people, after once we serve prasadam one round, we make sure that we clean up before we let others sit there. And in the midst of that, already people are walking here and there, and it just you know it becomes very difficult. It's because it's Lord's prasadam and somebody is stamping on the prasadam. But I have seen in so many places nobody cares. Why practicality? It's not practical to keep the floor clean after one round of having served prasadam because there are so many devotees to be served. But that's a convenience approach to devotion. It's not a serious approach to devotion. Serious approach to devotion is Lord's prasadam is invaluable. Let alone stamping it. We should not have even put it on the ground to start with. Even if it fell on the ground, we should take it and eat it. This is serious devotion. Then somebody will say, no, 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 but this is not cleanliness. That means we did not understand what is the significance of Krishna Prasadam. So these things we have to understand. Many times, our understanding of so-called cleanliness comes in the way of understanding the purity of Krishna consciousness. This specific example, Prasadam. Day before I was seeing, somebody was serving and something happened, a lot of Prasadam just fell on the ground. And the devotee was sitting, he was a new devotee. So he did not know, he was just looking at that Prasadam saying, and Somebody came and just cleaned it up. I didn't say anything because it was a new devotee, and then and then we have to teach people, saying that if something has fallen on the ground, if it is prasadam, somebody is serving, something fell on the ground, take it. Nothing will happen. Right? This is all different aspects of doing devotion seriously. Make sure that if flowers are offered, next day it is removed, come what may. So all these things, there are so many aspects of devotion. For example, we offered food to Krishna, and we say forgot to put salt. Then what do we do? When it comes to us eating, what will we do? We will add salt. That's not good. Okay, if you had also offered Krishna salt in his plate, then okay, then you can assume saying that Krishna took that salt because there was no salt in the offering. But otherwise, we should not say that okay, no, I can't eat this. It's salty. It's less salt or too much salt. Then what would Krishna have done when you offered some food with too much salt? Did he not accept it? He accepted it because you offered with love. Then we'll say, no, Krishna is anyway all powerful, so he would have. What would he have done? All powerful Krishna is being caught up by Mother Yashoda. What did he do? Nothing. He just bound up. So this is serious. This is being serious about devotion. Remember one statement: put your heart into every service. Remember this statement. I'm trying to practice this. Put your heart into every service you do. It makes a big difference. Okay. Okay, yeah, Vamshi Prabhu, you wanted to share something?
Yes, Prabhu. So, when you were mentioning about example of flowers, what we offer, right? So I just remembered this incident, Prabhu. In January when we had Vyas Puja in Tirupati, Prabhu. So
Yeah, Vyas Puja of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj.
Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. So we were serving food, and there was one devotee from outside who was not great in the attire, more like I think a beggar, who just came in and took the prasadam ke liye, plates. So he picked up two plates. Like when we were trying to give one plate, and he picked up two plates. But he took the prasadam as well. And one of the senior devotees came in, and so we did tell, like, you have taken two plates, so give away one plate, one should do. So he was not listening to it, and then another senior devotee came, and he ensured that the second plate, which would have gone waste, he took it back, and he made it very clear to all of us that this is lord's property, so we need to be very serious and very clear that we don't waste anything. So I mean, I was just thinking, like, it's okay, it's just one plate, so why Prabhu is saying, or why is he being so serious about it? But now I'm able to understand that, like, the criticality and the importance and the seriousness what we need to have when we are using anything, or when we are for our own personal use, as such, like how important it should be. So it was like it just like it took me some time to understand. It's okay, it's just one plate, right? So why is Prabhu saying so hard, and why is he being so hard on that person? But later I understood that, I mean, in Telugu he said, ఇది భగవంతుని సొత్తు. So it's like Lord's property, so we need to be very careful, and we should not waste anything. So
yeah, be serious about every aspect of devotion. At the same time, see, I'm reiterating this. We don't have to be serious towards the devotee. We have to be serious towards the devotion. This is very, very difficult to understand. That requires also devotees to be in that frame of mind to understand that it's not me, it's the service that I did. Because that false ego always comes in the way. Right? And we think that it's being told to me, so my false ego will wake up. But it's not told to you. It's about the service that you have done. It's very, very important. Otherwise, we will not be able to accept these things. Okay, what is this? This is like going on and on. What about other devotees? Is the same devotees who are lifting hands, questioning, asking? What about other devotees? Are all clear or too high, too heavy? Yeah, Shashank Prabhu.
Even Srila Prabhupada was very careful about the property of Krishna.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The fans and lights to be switched off. So.
Yeah, every penny he used to be particular about accounting for every rupee, every paisa. Yeah, Shashank Prabhu.
Prabhu, this is very clear. I understood this, Prabhu. But now we are also having a platform of Vaishnava Aparat. So I
Yeah, okay,
understood
good
when we
question.
try to correct. So this will come in middle, no, Prabhu. So now I'm like, it is like, yes, we need to be checking quality, but I'll get a fear. Okay, if I do Vaishnava Aparat, if I say, what
That I've
will
already
happen?
answered, right? So we have to know to whom we can say what is our scope of authority, and we can request sometimes, and if it doesn't, then we will leave it to somebody who's senior enough to deal with the situation. But we cannot close our eyes. That's the whole point. We cannot close our eyes. We might not be able to pick up the topic ourselves, but we should be able to pick it up and take it to the person authority, so that that authority will intervene and do the required. Because it's not that everything will reach the person in charge, right? And of course, that person in charge should be a senior person who has the who can instruct others also. So then you can take it to such person.
Yeah, yeah, Prabhu. This when we are checking the quality at the higher level, but for example, if you are dealing at the smaller level, like quality of checking, like prasadam, boga offering, and all, when we are at the lower platform,
Now,
we
what is
don't know
lower
the
platform?
platform in the sense, for example, in home when we are cooking, offering prasadam.
That's okay. That you talk to your wife and figure out. That's all. There is no Vaishnava Aparad there. Vaishnava Aparad happens only when you're criticizing somebody beyond your ability, beyond your pay grade, as they say. Meaning somebody is so exalted to us. Maybe that person did something, some little thing, maybe oversight or something went wrong. We don't have the right to correct them. But we have the right to correct ourselves, correct our peers, husband and wife at home, children, etc., etc. That's okay. That's not Vaishnava Aparad.
Okay.
Because
Thanks.
we have the good intention of fixing things, right? Not with envy or or hatred or nothing like that. So it's okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, I mean, again, just my experience, right, Prabhu? So, while I was in Atlanta, when when Vishnujit Prabhu and Mahasa Prabhu were all there, so I was watching them. I mean, initially, even while they were honoring prasadam, even if one grain by mistake fall, they were immediately picking them up and putting in their mouth. Right. So when I was initially watching, yeah, I was thinking, what is this? So, and also, he's very particular about cleanliness of the temple, and then he was instructing brahmacharis. I mean, one brahmachari who was undergoing training of course, he's a American body, but he just cleansed the whole prasadam, that room, the temple room, and then Vishnujit Prabhu came back and told him to clean it again.
Yeah.
Because he saw it was still unclean. So I was wondering, what is then I eventually saw, how he's very serious about his, the temple being clean and the prasadam being honored, perfectly.
Yeah.
And then
Devotees will be serious also, and along with that, they'll also be humble.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's all exalted qualities. We have to develop these qualities. Okay, I think we've gone 9:24. I think we'll close. Yeah. So this is what happens, when this is how we have to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, develop understanding with other devotees and their experiences, and then it becomes fixed in our heart. We'll very less chances that we'll forget this discussion. Okay, thank you so much for everybody for contributing various ways. So we'll close here. Grantharar Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antakoti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.